Hey there, Eric with you. Thanks so much for joining me. I just wanted to share with you a really fun activity, or it's almost like a game that you can do with your children. And I call it My Story. And all that you need is your child, of course, and a piece of paper and a pen. Try not to let them type this or text it or any of that stuff. It's much more meaningful if they write it out, and it will have much more effect, much more carryover if they write it out also. So all that you tell them, you really want them to kind of take this and run with it, so to speak. Let them really use their creativity, their imagination, and you can really much tell them anything. I don't want to say rule, but the only part of this activity is that you want them to write about themselves in the future. So you could say, such as, what type of work do you think you'll be doing in the future? And then just let them go. Let them write out what type of work they're doing, or where they think they may live in the future, where they want to live in the future, or how they think the world may be in the future. It can be really anything, again, but the only part that they have to do is write about something that's not current. It's happening in the future, and it's really interesting what they will write. I think it will give you a lot of insight into what they're interested in, on what they feel they're capable of also. So again, this can give you quite a bit of feedback on where they are currently. And I think it helps them tremendously also, because I think we're all kind of stuck in the present and in the past. And especially children, they just kind of live minute to minute, which is great. They get the most out of every minute. But I think it's also important that they do start considering, what is ahead of them, where they may want to go. And I know if your child is young, their writing is written in stone. But I think it's a good idea just to start to get them thinking in that mindset, just for short periods of time. And then what I like to do after they write it out, and I read it with them, and they go into more depth and explain it to me. Then I try to follow up with more questions like, oh, that's very interesting, and how do you think you're going to get there now? And that really sets them off on a completely different tangent of thinking. But I think it's very useful and pertinent, even at a young age, to get them thinking on where they want to go, what they want to do, how they want to live. And it can be done at any age, even if your child is older, in high school. I think it's unfortunate so many kids graduate from high school and they still really have no idea where their interests may lie or what they want to do. And that can delay so much, I think, and cause them maybe not to spend their time as wisely as it could be spent if they had better direction. So just starting this activity or game, I like to call it more of a game, because it's fun for them. I think they really get a lot out of it, and it's enjoyable. But it can really start again to get them thinking in terms of the future, and then maybe pointing them. You can assist them in pointing them in the right direction. So give that a try. I think you'll enjoy it, and you'll also you'll get a lot out of it. See where your children's mind is, which can be a little bit of a scary thought, but no, it's very helpful. They'll enjoy it, and you can keep progressing it too. Maybe come back to it a couple weeks later, and you may get an entirely different story or scenario. So I hope that helps you. Give it a try. At the very least, it's great for those minds of theirs to really stimulate their imagination and their creativity. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.